Have you ever watched a plane soar through the sky? It's a sight that never fails to amaze. It seems to defy gravity, rising effortlessly into the air. The roar of the engines, the smooth acceleration, and then, the incredible moment it lifts off the ground. It's a symphony of power and precision. It feels like magic, but it's all about science. The principles behind flight are both simple and complex. Let's unravel the mystery of how planes take off. From the moment the engines start, to the instant the wheels leave the ground. We all know gravity keeps us on the ground. It's a force we experience every day. So how does a massive plane overcome this force? What allows it to break free and soar into the sky? The answer lies in the fascinating world of aerodynamics and the four forces of flight: lift, weight, thrust, and drag. Flying isn't just about fighting gravity, it's about working with it in harmony. To take off, a plane uses four main forces: lift, weight, thrust, and drag. These forces must be balanced for smooth flight. Lift is the force that pushes the plane upwards, counteracting the weight. It's generated by the wings as air flows over and under them, creating a pressure difference. Weight is the force of gravity pulling the plane down towards the earth. This depends on how heavy the plane is, including passengers, luggage, and fuel. Thrust is the force that moves the plane forward, created by the powerful engines. These engines propel the aircraft through the air. Lastly, drag is the air resistance that tries to slow the plane down. It acts opposite to the direction of thrust. For a plane to take off, lift needs to be greater than weight, allowing the plane to rise, and thrust needs to be greater than drag, propelling the plane forward. It's like a tug of war in the air, with these forces constantly interacting to keep the plane in flight. The engines are the powerhouse of the plane. They generate the massive thrust needed to propel the plane forward. Most planes use jet engines. These amazing feats of engineering work by sucking in air and mixing it with fuel. This mixture burns fiercely, producing hot exhaust gases. These gases blast out of the back of the engine with tremendous force. This force, according to Newton's third law of motion, creates an equal and opposite force pushing the plane forward. That's thrust. Now let's go through the steps of how a plane takes off. It's a fascinating process that combines precision, power, and a bit of magic. First, the plane taxis from the gate to the runway. This is a crucial phase where the aircraft moves slowly and carefully, guided by ground control. The pilot gets clearance from air traffic control and does final checks. These checks ensure that all systems are functioning correctly and that the plane is ready for takeoff. Then, the real action begins. The pilot prepares for takeoff by adjusting the throttle and setting the aircraft's systems for departure. The pilot pushes the throttle forward, unleashing the power of the engines. The engines roar to life, generating immense thrust. The plane accelerates down the runway, picking up speed. This acceleration is critical for generating the necessary lift for takeoff. As the plane reaches a certain speed, the pilot gently pulls back on the control column. This action is known as rotation. This action rotates the plane upwards, increasing the angle of the wings. The nose of the aircraft lifts off the ground. The shape of the wings and this increased angle create more lift. The wings are designed to maximize lift while minimizing drag. Finally, when the lift force becomes greater than the weight of the plane, a magical thing happens. The plane lifts off the ground. This is the moment of takeoff. It climbs gracefully into the air, leaving the runway behind, soaring into the sky. The journey has begun, and the plane is now on its way to its destination.